In this tutorial we're going to take a look at a shock leader knot. So what is a shock leader and when do we need to use one? To get good distance, particularly when feeder fishing, you need to use a lighter line on your reel, maybe 3 or 4 pounds in breaking strain, which gives it a low diameter and allows the feeder to fly through the air without any friction. The trouble is with a light line, you can't get the power behind the cast to actually launch it in the first place. So a shock leader is a heavier line that's attached to the reel line. It's usually twice the length of your rod plus 3 or 4 turns on the reel. So how do we tie it on? Well, we're going to use the thicker bootlace to represent the shock leader, and this thinner brown one, providing it behaves itself because it's flat, as the reel line. So first of all, we're going to tie a grinner knot into the reel line going around the shock leader. So we're going to make a loop, and this tag end has got to go through and around, probably, I would say in real terms, probably 6 times at least, but for this case we're just going to put it through about 4. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and gently pull that up. We don't need to tighten it at this point, it just needs to be sat there out of the way. The next bit is really simple. Just take the shock leader line and make a loop. Now this tag simply goes underneath the doubled up bit in an overhand knot like so. Easy as that. So now we can work at pulling these together. So just grab the 2 pieces of line, slide them together, and at this point I would probably lubricate them because they're still fairly loose, and now you can just tease the knots together like so. With any knot you don't have to pull it all together in one go. You have to lubricate it. If you don't lubricate fishing line, it can stretch, burn and damage itself to the point where it'll actually fail when you use it. So by lubricating it with a little bit of saliva, it'll actually allow the knot to slip together and bed in, so it's in the right position for when you want to use it. Another important tip, with the shock leader, I would trim that off fairly close as you can get it. You need to allow a little bit in case the knot slips, because you never know. It's under a lot of stress when it's being cast or reeled in. So trim that off fairly close, but this one I'd leave a little bit longer. The reason for that is the direction of travel is this way. So this knot sits on the reel when you cast, but as it travels up through the rod rings, if you have too short a piece of line tag end that you've cut off here, if it's too short, it can actually ping against all the rod rings, actually limit your cast or even damage your rod or even break it. So a good tip is to leave this slightly longer, so it will bend over and lead the knot through each rod ring as it flies through. It's going through very, very quickly. It all happens in a split second, but that little bit of extra line can just allow the knot to pass through the rod rings without any trouble. So that's a good little tip. So there you go, there you have it. That's how to tie on a shock leader to your main line.